Howdy friends, welcome back. I'm Trailblazer Tim. In today's video, I want to take a few moments and show you how you can set up the draw length and draw weight when it comes to that new compound bow that you just bought. So in today's video, we're going to be working with the Blackout Extreme XS compound bow. This is year 2021. I bought this particular bow at Bass Pro Shops, Cabela, brand new, but due to COVID-19 at the time, there was no bow tech on site. All of the bows were already set up out of the box, no instructions, nothing. So I was left having to take this thing home with no instructions, and it sat in a case for 6 months. Well, today I'm going to show you how to set up the draw length as well as the draw weight on this particular bow. All right, so before you get started, if you do not feel comfortable working on a piece of archery equipment such as this, find yourself a local archery salesman or dealership in the area. Usually a mom and pop place works the best, and ask them if they can set the thing up for you. If not, this is how you're going to have to go about doing it. Now, I've never been the kind of person that just runs out and goes buy a bunch of specialty tools and equipment that I'm only going to use one time. But there are other ways about doing this. The first thing you want to do when it comes to setting up the proper bow length, the draw length on your bow, is to measure your wingspan from fingertip to fingertip. Get that proper measurement. No matter how you do it, whether you have to have a friend or whatever with a tape measure, take that measurement and divide it by 2.5. My wingspan length is 64 inches long. I'm going to divide that by 2.5. That comes out to 25.6 inches. Well, you never want to round it up to like 26. It's better just to round it down. So we are going to claim it to be right about 25 inches as my wingspan length. Now, this being 2021, and this is the newest and latest greatest thing from Blackout compound bows and stuff. If you look on each one of the limbs, you have cams, all right? One on this limb and one on the other limb. Let's zoom in and let me show you what I'm talking about and what you need to be looking for. Now, if you look closely along this cam, there's little numbers that are marked in here and stuff. This happens to be a little bit more modern, so it marks by the inches of your wingspan all the way up. It starts, I believe, at 20 inches and goes up to 31 inches. Now, my wingspan is 25 inches. That's what we're looking for. If you're buying another type of compound bow that's not set up like that, it might come in increments of just numbers. Then you're going to have to take it to comparison sheet and mark that out where it recommends for the length of your wingspan. Now, when you're working on a compound bow, hands down, whatever you do on one end, you need to replicate that on the other end. We're going to go down to here to this certain limb right here. I'm going to show you how to set up this type of compound bow for your proper draw length. Now, those compound bows from the factory are usually set at maximum pounds of pressure and maximum wingspan length and draw length and stuff. So you can see we're set up right here around the 30 to 31. We want to get to 25. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these two Allen screws out of here, set them off to the side, and we're going to turn our cam until we line up where it says 25. All right, so you can buy a specialty Allen wrench made just for bows and stuff, but a regular Allen set of key wrenches and stuff will work just fine. We're going to go down here, and we're going to take and back off both of the screws on our cam. Take them all the way out. Set it over to the side. There's one. Go setting up the second one. Now, this thing is not going to spring back on you, trust me, because we're not working on the weight. We're just working right now on setting up our draw length. Now, seeing it set at 30, I'm going to take and turn this thing until we line this up at 25. 25 is right there. And I'm going to take nice and easily and reset my screws back down into place where they belong and wherever it works for what we're doing. All right, nice and easy. Don't want to cross thread anything by any means. We are now set up for the 25-inch wingspan. This is my draw length. Get them nice and snug. You don't want that thing to pull out. Going to do the exact same thing on the other limb. All right, right there is 25. Set that back down in place. Another one back on the other end. Easier to put it right on the end of the Allen screw, Allen wrench. Don't cross thread, like I said. Take your time. You don't want to mess those threads up, or else you're going to end up having to replace parts on your nice compound bow. Now that we are set up successfully, this should accommodate my wingspan, which equates to 25 inches. All right, now that we figured out and got our draw length where we need it to be, draw length of how far that string is going to be pulled back when you're sitting there and you're ready to take your shot, let's jump in to your draw weight. Now, this particular bow, the Blackout Intrigue XS, is set up as maximum pounds of pressure at 70, and you can adjust that down to 40. Let me show you where to start. On most of these compound bows, you're going to have what's called the limb bolts. You got one on this limb and one on the other end. And this is how you're going to adjust your draw weight when it comes to how much pounds of pressure you're going to have to pull. Unfortunately, because I didn't get any of the specs, because some of them differ, you know, you do one turn, it's 2 pounds lower, or so on and so on. What we're going to do though, like I said at the beginning of the video, whatever you do on one side, you duplicate that on the other side exactly the same way. Okay, so I don't know exactly what the pounds we are trying to accomplish right here, right now, and each turn what that equates to. So we're going to do this very easy. We're going to take an Allen wrench, find the right one. We're going to line this up in a spot. Now, if you're not sure where center point is, you can make a mark right there. But we're going to start on one end. We're going to make 1/2 turn. Stop, go to the other end and make another 1/2 turn. Come back and do that one more time. That way we have both sides on these limb bolts exactly at one rotation. Now remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Both of these limb bolts are set at maximum pressure of 70 pounds. I'm going to take and I'm going to turn this to the left a 1/2 of a rotation. There's one. We do the same on the other side. All right, so all we've done is turn our limb bolts 1/2 turn on both sides. We're going to do the same thing again to both sides, and make sure you have the exact amount of turning and rotation on both sides. That way it stays equal pressure. You're not going to lose your balance and be off on your target. Now that we've gotten 2 complete rotations simultaneously on both the limb bolts, let's go ahead and see if we can draw this thing back. Never dry fire anything, especially a compound bow. And let's see how it feels. Not horrible. I think we need a little tiny more adjustment. If I were to guess, we're probably somewhere within a range of 58 to 62 pounds. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable if I brought that down just a tiny little bit, maybe a 1/2 of a turn on each one of those limb bolts. Because remember, the true test is how difficult is it for you to get that bow pulled all the way back? How long can you hold it in that position without fatigue? And how much pressure are you putting on your arms, which can make and break that perfect shot that you're looking for. Well, hey, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching the video. Listen, I by no means claim to be a bow tech or an expert when it comes to this stuff. All right, I'm just getting back into the game. I've been out of it for years and years and years, and I don't feel like spending a bunch of money on specialty tools and all that other stuff. The way they're setting up these compound bows these days makes it very user-friendly and very forgiving. But remember, don't go gang crazy on loosening up these limb bolts. Because if not, it can cause serious injury to somebody, not to mention ruin your bow. If you have any problems or you're not sure, like I said, take it to an expert. Till next time, I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.